Alright, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to Vector Sigma Info. Sitting here with Mr. Kyle Grant.
What? Gant.
Just kidding. So we're here to talk about the Energon season and some of the cool new stuff coming up.
It's been a wild ride for this local area because I think there's probably the most qualifiers within out of any other place I could imagine.
Yeah.
We have 2 this weekend, 2 the other weekends.
I think we technically had 7 this weekend.
Yeah. It's absolutely insane, and it's great to see that. Hopefully that it means that Transformers is going to slowly get bigger.
Yeah, I agree. You did not go to Gen Con.
I could not make it to Gen Con.
Right, but you were at Origins.
I was.
You made top 32 at Origins.
Oh, I made top 32.
It didn't count then for your invite.
It did not. I lost to Bixler.
Don't yell at him because then he gets noisy. But you qualified pretty early in the season, though, right?
Yeah, I qualified after my first local Energon qualifier.
Invitational qualifier. EIQs. We'll call them EIQs.
EIQs. Okay, perfect. I won my first one. I did not go in feeling like I was going to go win or anything. I really haven't got a chance to look into meta, what it was turning into. So I just played Aerobots because it's what I've had success with in the past. I love playing the deck, so I went in there. And thankfully, I barely made it in.
In fairness, I remember that day because I was talking to Eric, because his stories running. He's like, yeah, Kyle's playing Aerobots, and I literally messaged Mark that day and said, Kyle's going to win today.
Yeah,
I got proof of that.
No, actually, Eric did talk to me a bit about that. I honestly, though, I really didn't think I was going to win, though.
I think you were good in that field that day.
Yeah,
Which
I think the biggest thing I was lucky about was that there wasn't that many orange decks, and if you're trying to go toe to toe with Pierce and damage with Aerobots, I don't think you can. Yeah, you can't. So
you have this sweet card called Inferno Breath.
Yes, it's really awesome, and the built-in Pierce 3 is really nice too.
It's okay.
But yeah, no, I think I was pretty lucky. I was actually surprised how blue that day was. Funny enough, there was 2 blue decks and 2 orange decks in the top 4.
Yeah.
Both were blaster for orange decks.
Yep.
Which, thankfully, I just had a good hand beating Eric because blaster is not a deck I feel comfortable with Aerobots.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup. They get to go so ahead so fast.
Yeah, when they go first and they go flip, grenade launcher,
Kill your
so
Firefly. Move on. There we go. I'm already down 7 health. That's my
great.
Blocker.
Yeah, so I was super thankful that I was able to get that win. It was super stressful the whole time.
How relieved were you when you got the win?
Oh, you can ask some people there. I was literally about to cry, because I was worried. My whole calendar was just set up for every qualifier. Because
Well, you still came out to a bunch.
Yeah, and I try to go to each one just because I want to support the local stores. I want to show that hey, there is a mass attendance for Transformers.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to make sure I go to each one though. But yeah, it was.
What do you think about the system in general? The idea that there was Origins in the Gen Con and then there were these systems to get to the Invitational.
The whole Gen Con versus Origins thing, I understand why they did it. It does suck though that one was top 32, one wasn't.
Yeah.
Understandable though, there was a lot more people at Gen Con than Origins.
Yeah.
But no, I like it. I think it's kind of matching up to Magic, so it makes sense. It's the same system. But the store qualifiers are great because, as you can see, there is all these stores that are now interested in getting people in. Might try to buy some products. You can try to get a local scene going.
Especially in our area, since we're more local to PAX,
Yeah.
it felt like there were so many of these ways for people to get in, so many people that can get invited that can legitimately go for very cheap on cost.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty big for us too.
And I think it also is a great way to see what is the meta outside of our local area. I definitely do think this is the area that most of the meta gets created, but there's also you see random decks show up and you're I have no idea how to play against. It's the big one comes to mind is the Powered by Primes people, the Colorado guys.
Yeah, Colorado.
They showed up to Origins with OPBL and Novastar.
Yep.
I know people talked about it before, but it's just like
you'd never seen it.
I'd never seen it, didn't even know what to do against it, and it was so powerful. And I was just like, this is something I've never even thought of.
Yeah, that's like the difference between like the bigger events when you have everyone come in and then the local. Like even for here, like I don't think it was like anything crazy, but it was very wide.
Yeah.
Like we had every week, something new had won, and like the top 8s and the top 4s were very versatile, like very, very spread out.
Which I think is a great, also
Yeah,
a good way
it's
of
a
saying
showing of what the meta really is.
Yeah, and I think it's also a great way of showing like how healthy the game is. I mean, I know there's people have like their most hated deck. Bugs come to mind, but I mean like, just jokingly that like the deck is still good. It does what it does, but it is great to see that Bugs won in Minnesota, and then Blaster won somewhere near here,
And then Cars won there. Shockwave won here. Everybody, and like you've heard, I've heard just about every deck has won an event.
Yeah,
So,
so
it's cool.
I think it's a great way to show that like it's not, the game isn't just shut and like open and shut like meta. It's you can win with your deck if you go up against the right matchups.
Yeah, like it also shows that like every deck has bad matchups.
Yes.
Like, there's nothing that's been dominant the entire season.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like you guys posted the
Yeah.
what was called the spheres.
The spheres, yeah.
So-
And it's
Yeah, so I mean it's like a full detailed breakdown of
Yeah.
it's
Scott
just this
had
constant rock paper scissors of all these
months to
different
do
decks.
that.
Yeah. So I mean I think it just means the game's really healthy.
Yeah.
So
So good season. There's one more week left. There's a couple events next weekend, but other than that, we had a pretty good season.
and
Ton of events in the
The
area.
30th, right?
Yeah, it's the
Last
30th.
one.
So as of recording, we're on the 21st, 22nd. Right? Yeah.
So
So
one more week of it.
one more weekend. And I think there's one couple up in like Massachusetts on like the 30th, which is a Monday. That I've heard people that if they're not invited, they're going, which more power to them.
That's awesome.
Good for you guys.
And then you have all the last chance.
And then you'll have the last chance qualifiers on Friday.
Which it'll be interesting to see how many people show up for those.
Well, it's cool because I guess they're trying to fire them off as many as possible.
Yeah, well, you got-
before you get in. Like,
one an hour for like 6
Yeah.
hours or something.
it's gonna be a lot of people that get in. So.
So
Good for you.
yeah, it'd be great to see. But no, I'm pretty excited for the season, for the next wave also, because it's just I mean obviously it always adds to the game, but it's gonna shake things up. And, yeah. I don't know,
Speaking
sorry.
of that,
Yeah.
it's okay. You jumped a little bit, but speaking of it, like, so we've had a slew of spoilers this week.
Yeah,
there's a
it's
ton.
not like there was like 15. Or something.
There was a lot. It was a 3-hour episode of Tech Talk. It was a lot. What's come out that's like at least caught your eye?
I really like what's his name, Brunt.
Okay.
It's interesting to see.
Cards like that.
Yeah, cards that turn into 2 weapons instead of 1. I think his just bot ability is pretty powerful, and it kind of goes towards where it seems like they come. I mean, I know they want to do mixed decks a lot more, so I think it's a great way to see that it stops both.
Yep.
And then just keep in mind that like the weapons themselves are
Yeah. Is he a 3-attack weapon and a 2 armor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
which there's no 2 armor that's like a guarantee that doesn't just get scrapped.
No. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean,
Well, yeah, there's like the situational armors. But
yeah. There's I call them like the rock paper scissors armors.
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, I mean, seeing that, and then I'm trying to figure out what else he's doing. He's like 11 health, right?
He's an 11 stars.
11 stars.
10-2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has hot rod sets.
I mean, all I'm thinking about is just like Shockwave, Major Shockwave, and
Sure.
like him.
Yeah, it's too tall.
Yeah, too tall, and then
And you just get the Voltron, your shockwave,
and you have 5 base defense.
with a 10 attack or something. Sure.
I mean, not saying it's like it's great or anything, but I mean, it's
The idea,
one of the cards.
the idea of it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
And then the opponent goes and they go disarm, and you're like, okay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big thing with the next wave. I think with how upgrade dependent everything's going to start being, and I think it's just it's called like disarm. I think it's going to be it's people are more
if,
just
if those guys start to see more play, if characters like the new Optimus Prime with his 3 utility slots like really start to show and gleam, like cards like Disarm are gonna see some play. Even just like regular bounce cards are gonna be good because when you bounce it just goes away also. So it doesn't even have to be Disarm. It could be Crushing Treads. No, not Crushing Treads. Debilitating Crystal.
Yeah.
So even Debilitating Crystal, it's like I'll just bounce it. So like I just get rid of the part I don't want to deal with.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking of with Next Wave is I think every deck is probably going to be burn deck. I don't know how great the safeguard characters are at this moment, but I mean, like
prevent like the first X damage.
Yeah, if they're not damaged, so like I feel like everybody's going to have to burn it so they can go against one. It's
You're
like,
gonna have to
zap
and
in,
underhand tactics and play all that stuff.
You're going to need something.
Yeah.
But no, I mean I think the Next Wave's exciting. Card wise, I think the most unique thing right now is just seeing those black double pips.
Okay.
It seems like they're trying to force, like, even if you want to play all blue, it's like, hey, here's like the black double pip card, so it doesn't give you defense, but it's gonna let you attack damage.
Yeah.
Try to.
And it's like okay on cards like with an innate bold, so like with like Wheeljack for example.
Yeah.
Like Wheeljack only have 5 attack, but with bold 3, hit, 3-4 black cards, like I'm gonna do 4 damage every time. Now it's not the best way to use Wheeljack probably, but it's like just like that plus like a normal attack. So when you need it, it's like, well, I'm gonna deal 5 or 6 damage.
Yeah. I think it's just another step to like try to break up a pure like a mono.
Yeah. I mean, I think you've seen steps towards even the mixed decks in this season.
Yeah.
Which is kind of all over the place. The general Optimus decks have been somewhat mixed picks. There's been Shockwave mixed picks. There's been Optimus Prime mixed picks. So like, there's been a bunch of different versions already. But I think like those things are going to push more and more towards it.
Yeah, I think it is really cool to see like how much of a difference there was from Origins to Gen Con.
Well, not even even if you go further than that, like go back to Wave 1. Like Wave 1's like Dinobot Orange.
Yeah.
And then like Optimus Prime Blue. But now it's like you come like so far from that. It's like what? Like no one's doing that stuff anymore.
I know, and like it's great to start seeing that like mixed decks are actually a thing. Because I mean, I think before the set and like before Gen Con, I don't think people were really even giving that a thought. It's like, well, no, you need to do all damage.
Yeah.
Or you need all defense.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think it brings the deck a lot more dynamic. The only concern with it is just like then it starts becoming more random. Probably get more people upset. That's like, oh, I flipped 2 blues when I have. But I mean, that's the price you have to play if you want to play the card.
It's just general math too. Like you just know your limit. You know? That's what are you gonna do? Any more battle cards that jumped out at you?
Let's see. Trying to think battle card wise.
There hasn't been like a ton of them released
yet. No, nothing yet. Honestly, I can't think of anything. I know I was checking out the black double pips and I was like, because it's nice because it's not like a completely useless card either. Like I know the one gives you +2 attack, which is not bad.
Yeah.
And the other one's like all your characters get +2 pierce.
Yeah.
Is the one. So it's going to be interesting to see how they all turn out.
There's a couple. I like the card that maybe I'm biased that I spoiled. Gem Signals. I think that's gonna be a fun card. It's like a counter infiltrate, so like you just I get to counter blue cards. Like all right, cool. So I think that'll see some play for sure, especially in Shockwave decks if he can still last around. It's just so easy for him to get away with playing that card.
Yeah.
Other than that, nothing too crazy on the top. Characters, I like the new Optimus. I like 6 Gun. That's probably it for now.
Yeah, the only thing I say characters wise is like
There's a bunch of interesting ones, but like until I get my hands on them, I don't know. I like the new Force Bow guy, the 5-drop, the Battlemaster, the
want
Armor
him to be
Master.
6.
Yeah, sure, just to live himself.
Let him at least use his ability once.
If you go first, you're fine. If you don't, oh well. Like he's probably dead. And then if you can pair him in like the 4Y decks, kind of like what Brian did, like with Fireflight, like so you can protect him. So if it's like him, RC, and then like a 10-drop, all right, I can probably get behind this idea. Like he's gonna shield your guys, and this is great because they have to attack Fireflight, and he's gonna get force field it, and then like you still have RC, and you still have this annoying dude, and you still have your giant dude. And, like I can get behind that idea. So I don't know. We'll be interested. With the announcement of Energon this week in the format, how do you feel about sealed?
I personally am not a fan. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it not just, oh, I know how to play this one deck, and that's all I know how to play, so that's what I'm going to stick to. I can get what they're doing with that, and trying to bring some more interest into the sealed format.
Yeah.
Do I think they should have done that on like the biggest event ever yet?
Okay.
Maybe not. But I mean, that's how they want to do it.
I mean, if sealed is one thing, but for me, if you compare it to their sister, and compare it to Magic, same company. Magic does it for their Pro Tours. Every Pro Tour has Constructed and Draft. So it's like super common for them to involve both fields. And I think for me, seeing the way Siege 1 and so far Siege 2 has been set up, I think you see enough of showing that Limited can be played with these sets pretty well.
Yeah.
So I think that they were very clearly planning for this, and then even if you go back to the original announcement, it said it was going to be multiple formats. But I still think the way the Siege 1 and 2 looks, I think it's going to be a little bit more than just who opens the bomb.
Yeah, true. I think it's exciting because I mean, you even have you have the raw stat cards oh, maybe
just the blank plus 3 attacks are good.
Like Ion Cloud or Ion Storm.
He's big. I get it. He's a common.
Yeah.
But everyone has the same chance of opening that card. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So I mean, but I'm saying that's a great thing of you don't have to get the SRs because I mean they're not they're great, but they're not the best cards even in
and even by that math, it's one out of every 2 boxes or something like that.
So I mean,
2.5 boxes or something. It'll happen. But what are you gonna do?
It's not like I'm something I'm gonna protest on or anything. It's just it was a little bit shocking me because I had never really gotten into Magic competitively or anything like that. So it was just looking at it.
And I mean, this even dates back to older games I played. Every game I played, the Worlds format has always been 2 formats. Okay. Even in some cases in WoW, it was 3 formats. So it's very common for me, but. I'll be excited to see exactly everything and how the sealed affects the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean it's only 2 rounds, so it's not
3 rounds.
Is it 3 rounds?
3, 4, and 5.
It's only 3 rounds.
It's 33% of the tournament.
Yeah, I mean it's not that bad. It's not enough for me to see a bunch of posts and everybody's super upset about it.
I think it's pretty blown out of proportion.
Yeah, I'm kind of more just on the side of it's not something I would have done, but I get what you had done.
Yeah, I mean it's going to help support other events too. Sure. I mean for all we know, in next year you might have an all limited event. Yeah. One of our Origins or Gen Con could just be straight sealed and then cut to a draft or something like that.
Yeah, it's true. That'd be exciting to see. Huh? But I mean, I'm excited for the whole thing. Just that's all I was ever worried about. The whole panic when the season started and trying to get it. All I really wanted to do was just make sure I could get the invite
and play.
Play. I don't want.
Which is as soon as they announce it, you're well, I've got to get my queue.
Yeah. I mean, if I get into top 32 or everything like that, or is price support for 32 or 64?
I know the cash currently is to top 32. I don't know what other support. They haven't announced any other support or anything like that.
But yeah, I mean, even if I get in the top 32, that'd be
great,
fantastic, obviously. But I mean, all I want to do is just not sit on the sidelines and watch my friends, everybody, just not play. So.
All right. Well, thank you for sitting down with me.
Yeah.
Kyle.
No problem.
Gant from Wreck and Roll. Awesome, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Good luck.